the path that led Erwin von Witzleben to stand against. Hitler began not with a single shock, but a gradual corrosive disillusionment. He was a son of Breslau, born in 1881, steeped in the Prussian tradition where duty and discipline were sacred, and he saw in Hitler the chance to rebuild the Reichswehr after Versailles. But the new regime's methods quickly shattered that soldierly illusion. "They are calling it a necessary purge, Field Marshal. The night of the long knives. But those were soldiers, men who had served, von Schleicher, von Bredow, murdered in their homes. Like dogs," Hans Oster insisted, his voice low and tense in the private office in 1934. "I know, Hans, I served with Schleicher, a chancellor murdered, and what of the SA leaders? Shot without trial. This is not the rule of law. This is gangsterism dressed in a brown shirt." Von Witzleben replied, hard and controlled. "The military's honor is being used as a shield for crime. Not all of us are silent. Manstein and Rundstedt, we are demanding an official inquiry, though I know it will be dismissed." The final decisive crack came 4 years later with the Blumberg-Fritsch affair of 1938. The Führer purged his leadership not with bullets, but with transparent slander, fabricated accusations, to remove men hesitant about war. General von Fritsch, commander-in-chief, smeared, humiliated, removed from service on a lie that insults the intelligence of every officer in the Wehrmacht. Von Witzleben ragged. "I spoke out, and my reward was temporary retirement. He needs men of expertise for his war, Hans, but he only trusts men who have none. I will accept the recall to service, not out of renewed loyalty, but to observe his incompetence firsthand, and to wait." "We are past discussion, General Oberst," Beck stated quietly to von Witzleben. "And Colonel von Stauffenberg in 1943. We are at Stalingrad. We are at El Alamein. The end, Erwin, is a national catastrophe. This is no longer resistance. It is an existential necessity." "I agree, Ludwig. My loyalty died with Fritsch. I will assume the role, Commander-in-Chief of the Wehrmacht. It gives the coup legitimacy. The soldiers will follow a field marshal, one of Hitler's originals, before they follow a colonel," von Witzleben confirmed. "The structure is sound," Stauffenberg added, tapping a map. "You, Field Marshal, will be the military anchor. General Beck, head of state, the Operation Valkyrie plan is ready. It is designed to mobilize the reserve army on the assassination signal. You must be at the Bendler block immediately. Your presence is the bridge between the coup and the rank and file. I know he will execute us as criminals. Not soldiers," von Witzleben admitted, a chilling finality in his voice. "We gamble with our lives, but we buy a chance for Germany's soul. We pray the bomb succeeds." The phone rang at Saassen at 12:42 p.m. on July 20th, 1944. "The Wolf's Lair is confirming the detonation." "Good. Colonel Stauffenberg is airborne?" "Excellent," von Witzleben said into the receiver. But Witzleben, the disciplined man of process, held back. He needed certainty, official, absolute confirmation of the Führer's death before committing the highest-ranking officer of the coup. That delay, born of Prussian caution, would prove fatal. "Field Marshal, urgent message from the Bendler block." An aide rushed in, voice tight. "General Beck has launched Valkyrie. They are issuing orders, but there are conflicting reports from the Wolf's Lair. Some say the Führer is only wounded." "Only wounded? What kind of wound?" "I must have a clear report, man. My involvement now commits the entire Wehrmacht," von Witzleben demanded. 6 hours, Field Marshal. They need you in Berlin, now! The loyalty of the troops is dissolving." "Right," von Witzleben finally said, grabbing his cap, the sun starting to dip. "To Berlin. The man is a viper. Even wounded, he retains his power. We must seize the capital before he can strike back." He finally entered the chaotic Bendler block at around 8 p.m. Too late. Hitler spoke on the radio. "He is alive! We are reversing the orders. The SS is here," Hauptmann Liebermann cried in panic. Von Witzleben stood amid the utter disorganization, his face a mask of defeat. "This is chaos." "What have you done?" he whispered, the dignity remaining but the spirit crushed. He looked at Beck, who merely nodded, accepting their fate. The soldier's code demands action, not blind hope. He turned and walked out, his final act of command. On July 21st, he was arrested at his country estate. "You will remove your badges of rank. You will surrender your sword," the arresting colonel general stated harshly. "By order of the Führer, the regular army's court of honor has stripped you of your commission. You are dishonorably expelled from the Wehrmacht. You are no longer a soldier. You are a criminal. You remove my rank, but you cannot remove my honor. You make me a criminal so you can execute me as a civilian." "A coward's process," von Witzleben responded, the sound of his sword clanging to the ground marking the end of his military life. In the People's Court in August 1944, Freisler shrieked, "Look at him! A field marshal! Why are your trousers falling down, old man? Where is your belt?" I was not given time to properly... Von Witzleben began, struggling to hold up his clothes, humiliated for the cameras. "How dare you adjust your trousers in this court? You insult the majesty of the German Reich," Freisler roared. "You are a dirty old man, a viper in the heart of the military. I took the honors to rebuild the army you helped dismantle. My military service stretches back to Imperial Germany. I serve the state, not a fanatic," von Witzleben declared. Freisler pounded his gavel. "Why? Tell the court why." "Because the German army was being led to destruction by incompetence and lunacy," von Witzleben said, delivering his final defiant speech. "You can hand us over to the executioner. In 3 months, the outraged and tormented people will call you to account and drag you through the filth in the streets alive. We will be vindicated! Death, death to the conspirators! Death by hanging. And let it be a slow death. A dishonorable death," Freisler screamed. Plötzensee Prison, August 8, 1944. The Phi execution was designed as the ultimate desecration, slow strangulation on a meat hook, a perverse order from Hitler. The thin hemp rope was tightened, followed by the agonizing sound of a man struggling for breath, a dreadful sound that lasted nearly 20 minutes. Erwin von Witzleben, the disciplined field marshal, met his end not for the nation he served through 2 world wars, but as a criminal, his final dignity stripped by the regime he tried to topple.